Hey everybody, here's a quick video to demonstrate how to adjust the bias on your Faceless Fuzz. Now to do this, you'll obviously need the pedal, you'll need a multimeter of some sort, and primarily you'll need a tiny flathead screwdriver. Now, before we start, I don't normally advise people to go in and fiddle with the bias too much. I try to set them into good spots when I mail out the pedals. However, especially with something like a germanium fuzz, given the temperature and climate that you're in, the bias may drift a little bit from where it was originally set, and you might want to tweak it. The best thing to remember is if you have a meter, it's really good to be able to know where you're at. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your pedal and you're going to take your back off the pedal, and you're going to notice right in here is the bias trimmer. Now, beside the bias trimmer, I've included 2 test pads to make it really easy to know where you're at. So to do this process, what you need to do is you need to give your pedal power. So I've got this battery attached just to a clip here, but you could use the battery plugged into the pedal. So I'm going to plug that in. Now the pedal needs to be powered, and to do that, you'll need to make sure that something is plugged into the input jack, which when you're looking at it is on the left. So you're going to plug it in, and now the pedal will be receiving power. So what you'll do is you'll take your multimeter, it could be any old multimeter, and you can set it to volts DC, which is normally this symbol here. And then what you'll do is you'll take your 2 prongs. The square is intended to be the negative side, which was your black. And so what you'll do is you'll just reach in here and you'll touch your your prongs on these pads, and you'll see that this pedal is currently biased at 4.5 volts, which is standard for most fuzz pedals. Now, I bias them all a little bit different because I like to set it where it sounds best. So yours might be in a different spot. Now to adjust it, you'll just take a tiny screwdriver, be very gentle, and a little movement makes a big change. So you don't need to swing this pot really far in one way or the other. So what you'll do is you'll go in, and to turn the bias up, you'll insert your screwdriver and you'll turn it clockwise. So I'm going to turn it just a little bit clockwise, and then we'll go back in and we'll re-measure. And you will see that we're now at 5.4 volts. So you saw that that made a pretty big change. Now that will have a pretty large impact in the tonality of the pedal. So you'll have to play it and just see where you like it. Some people like the bias lower, in and around 3.5, 3.8 volts. Some people prefer it up somewhere as high as 6 volts. So if you decide to go in and play, the best thing to do is to make note of where the bias was originally so that you can always fine tune it back to where it was set by default. But this at least gives you the opportunity to go in and adjust to your taste. I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to shoot me a message. I'd be happy to guide you through this process. Cheers.